I know how hard the Minister works on this issue, so I really look forward to working with him. Thank you, Madam Chair.
The question is that this House has considered shellfish aquaculture. Barry Sheehan.
Madam Chair, thank you very much for calling me in this important debate, and I'm very grateful to the Member for Totnes for introducing it. I will be taking slightly different tack than he, because you will know, Madam Chair, that I represent Huddersfield, and last anyone looked, it's not on the coast, and as I also chair the Renaissance of the River Thames Commission, I'm not, I don't, Huddersfield isn't on the Thames either. But I was born in Sunbury-on-Thames, went to Hampton School on the Thames, the London School of Economics on the Thames. So I have some credentials with water. But I do regularly visit the coastal resorts like Whitby in Yorkshire and, of course, Whitstable, which are both favourites of mine. And they're favourites of mine because they're places where you can enjoy the wonderful countryside around it and the beautiful fishing that goes on there. And historically, going to either of those resorts and buying fish, fresh lobsters, fresh crab, oysters and mussels, and taking them home and having an absolutely brilliant feast with something that's produced in our seas. I have to say that why I'm in this debate is I'm increasingly concerned. If you go to Whitby and you go to Whitstable, you can't get fresh fish. Mysteriously, it's no longer on sale. You can't get crabs, and the notion says all the crabs here, everything is imported from outside those two resorts. There's something really strange, and if you ask the restaurants that you've been going to for years, they say, oh, something's gone wrong, Governor. The sea's warmed up. Or there's a real worry that something is going on in our seas and our oceans. And I'm particularly concerned. I've been interested in marine environment all my time, the 40-odd years I've been in Parliament. It is so essential. And I want to share with this committee something that really triggered me being here. And that's I also chair the Air Quality Commission. And taking evidence on air quality, suddenly one of the scientists said, you know, a lot of nasty stuff comes off tyres. Into the air. But he said the real pollution is what comes off the tyres and stays on the road, is washed into the gullies and into the ditches, and then into the streams and into the rivers and oceans. And he said most people think tyres are made of rubber. There is rubber, some rubber, but there are 32 chemicals in the average tyre. And those 32 chemicals are very sophisticated. Some of them very related to cancer, Madam Chair, related to cancer. And they are flowing all over the globe, not just around our coastal, into the seas and the marine environment. And they are, for all these years of pollution, and there is other pollution, as you know, of microplastics and other things, but these are particularly poisonous of marine life. And so I hope today we can put on record that we all want a marine environment where oysters can thrive, and crabs and lobsters. And could I throw in that some of us who know something about the history of London, and I don't know if there's a London member here, but some of us actually can remember when there were all sorts of different things you could buy and catch in the river. Although I have to admit, I was surprised hosting a birthday party for my granddaughter on the terrace in the summer, peering over the side of the Thames and seeing 3 seals swimming by, which says something. Does it say something about the quality of the environment in our river? I'm not sure. But it's certainly true, Madam Chair, that eels have disappeared from the river. Where have the eels in this country gone? They used to be absolutely eel pie. When I was a very young man at the London School of Economics, I used to go to Eel Pie Island to hear this anonymous group that I liked, met this guy who started this group, went to Eel Pie Island on a boat. Eel pie, that was a very important dish. But I used to go to hear this group before they had a name, and then my colleague at LSE, a student, got a name. Well, his name was Mick Jagger, but he formed the Rolling Stones. But what's happened to eels? What's happened to the crustaceans around our marine environment? And if there's one thing I hope we could all take on today, there is a serious poisoning effect all around our coast. And I know that in his very good speech, the Honourable Gentleman for Totnes mentioned the fact that sewage, Thames, Southern Water, even with enormous fines, are still discharging tons and tons of sewage into our rivers, into our streams, and into our seas. But so I don't detract from the fact that I am pursuing all the time Thames Water and, I have to say, the Environment Agency, which is very lax. So many of the places where they should be monitoring around our coast, they are not monitoring efficiently, effectively, because I think they are under-resourced. And I'll finish on this. This one pollution, linked to cancer, linked to pollution, will poison all our marine environment, and I hope we can do something about it.